Sugar.
I've been so excited to make a vid on this game, you don't realise, little bro. Yo, so you know how everyone says like RE1 HT is the best remake of all time? Or Shadow of the Colossus, for example, has one of the best remasters of all time? Well, I think not. Nah, I'm kidding, don't get me wrong. Those games are absolutely incredible in their own amazing ways, and I will get round to platting them because yes, of course. But I think we need to start including CTR NF in this type of conversation because Beanox literally killed it and gave us more than what we ever bargained for. This game was for the die-hard Crash fans that had been yearning for the original material to be modernised for newer platforms for years. CTR Nitro-Fueled expanded upon the original due to it having 2 games worth of content, those of course being the original Crash Team Racing's content and pretty much nearly all of Crash Nitro Kart's content as well. And still, even if that wasn't enough for you, they even added online play with seasonal bonuses that was almost like a battle pass. It was sick. Believe it or not, I actually used to be in the top 1,000 players on Nitro-Fueled's online leaderboards, which is a title that has definitely slipped away due to the passage of time, but nevertheless, I still cling to the ranking to this day, as it's the only game I've ever been at least slightly decent at, so I gotta have some pride about it, okay? Today we're gonna go through CTR Nitro-Fueled's platinum journey from start to finish, and I'm also gonna reminisce on this game's life cycle here and there as well, because why not? Let's go. Booting up the game, I went straight into adventure mode and activated the hardest difficulty because I'm the GOAT, and I also made sure to toggle the speed driving style because I am quite literally conditioned to this kart style due to sinking hours into competitive play over the years, and it's more than essential for obtaining this platinum, otherwise this whole process would just take a lot longer. To kick things off, we're introduced to this beautiful cutscene that establishes the main antagonist of the game, Nitrous Oxide, and he challenges us to win all races because otherwise he'll colonise the planet whilst turning Earth into a parking lot. This introduction plays a great homage to the original, I love it, and we can actually tell what things are now, as the tracks and character models no longer look like they're trapped in a K-hole. Contradicting myself though, I actually jumped into Crash Cove whilst playing as Polygon Crash with the classic kart, so I've kind of just eaten up my own words, haven't I? Because nostalgia is where the money's at these days, and I'll literally consume anything that emanates the zeitgeist of the PS1 era. This is where the fun begins. Oh my god, this game still holds up, and it's still so fun, man. I can't help myself. Catapulting from the ramp to hit the first shortcut of the game earns us the Puddle Hopper trophy. Many of the shortcuts in this game have a knack to them and certainly take a lot of practice to master, but as soon as you get the technique down, it really just comes down to muscle memory. Trophy 2 was for performing a lovely satisfying super boost as I left behind the speed panel on the ground. Trophy 3 was for coming in first in my very first race, obviously, and we were led into the second track, Rouge Troops, which in particular is one of my favourites and even inspired the thumbnail to this video. I popped the Unstoppable trophy for sustaining my boost for an entire lap and reached a new milestone on my PSN account. Shortly after, I hopped into Sewer Speedway, which is another incredible track, and I'm going to be saying that a lot during this video, aren't I? Yes, I am. Incredible track this, incredible track that. I'm going to be saying that everywhere. I apologise in advance. We obtained the Half Pipe King trophy for successfully hitting the shortcut. I also ran into a TNT crate that another racer had left behind and bounced it off Coco's head, which earns us the Get Off Me trophy. After claiming 4 race trophies, we're met with the blue-eyed boy, Ripperoo, and I can vividly remember our original PS1 copy of CTR back in the day, and it wasn't able to read past Ripperoo's boss fight, and it would literally make me kick and scream like a snotty little shit. I'm not kidding, I can remember crying as a kid due to being confined to the very first few races. Long are the days gone of being restricted to scratch up discs. Now we live in a world dominated by digital backwards compatibility and emulation, and even stuff like mods like custom maps. My god, we take this for granted. Anyway, nostalgia glasses and childhood memories to the side, we unlocked the beautiful Team Bandicoot kart from Crash Nitro Kart, and I customised it with the Bandicoot wheels that in turn popped us the That's How I Roll trophy. Can't lie to you guys, I was really apprehensive about this boss on hard mode. I'm kidding. I wiped the floor with this mentally deranged kangaroo and completely left him in the smoky fumes of my exhaust. Here I popped the trophy for dodging all power-ups during a boss's race, and of course for smoking Rippy Roo. Rooney Roo coughs up the key for the second hub world, but before I headed in, I had to start everyone's favourite game mode in CTR, the Crystal Challenges. Piece of fucking shit! Hey, they're not all that bad, but on the hard difficulty, they're a piece of fucking shit. Like I say, I really don't mind the Crystal Challenges in this game, but I can't say it's a nice break from the racing. Look, I get it, Naughty Dog originally intended that it wasn't all just about getting to the finish line, and instead you could have, you know, a more strategic or methodical approach to a kart racer. but I don't particularly enjoy these challenges. These levels all feel like a means to an end and filler, in my opinion, but despite me complaining about it like a little bitch, they're not too difficult and pretty short-lived. You know, you can get through these quite quick. Completing Skull Rock's crystal challenges earns us the Arena Explorer trophy, and then I started my first CTR challenge to contribute to the Collectathon. All this race type requires you to do is collect the 3 hidden CTR tokens and win the race. Definitely not the easiest task on hard mode, but doable nonetheless. In this race I also popped the trophy for successfully landing all 3 missiles from a triple missile power up. And oh mate, I'm such a scruff. Who else would leave? Who else like used to leave TNTs or nitro crates on top of boost pads like this online back in the day? Like I'm talking in terms of online. You are a scumbag if you did this like me.
What the fuck's your problem? You want to sit here and say that I'm a goddamn fucking Russian?
The Burning Rubber trophy was for drift boosting a total of 500 times, and the Spare Change trophy was for winning a CTR token race in adventure mode. Now we're heading into probably the best game mode that adventure has to offer, the Relic races. It's not quite the time trial mode from the platformers that we all know and love, but luckily outside of adventure mode we do have something more along the lines of that later on. Yeah, I don't mind this mode either, but it's less about getting around the track as quick as possible and more about how many crates you can break, the element of strategy over the overall element of skill,
so to speak.
Entering the second hub world as Pura, it was finally time to race in some new tracks. In Tiger Temple I picked up a bowling bomb for the hidden shortcut and popped Let Me In. The next trophy was for successfully maneuvering around Papu's Pyramid's shortcuts. I'm pretty sure this level in particular has the most shortcuts in this game. Don't quote me on that though, I could be wrong. Following those sets of trophies, it was time to face Papu in a 1v1 in his own track. And you already know, if you get beaten in your own track that's named and stylized after you, surely you must lose all kart racing credibility and get sent back to the streets to reevaluate your life. Surely that type of thing would happen. And that's exactly what ended up happening to our boy. I launched a bowling bomb straight into Big Bro from out of my arse at the start of the first lap and continued to smoke little man at his own level. I feel kind of bad. Papu is so innocent really. I gotta stop seeing otherness in Crash's bosses because they're people too and he carries a great sense of humanity. Why am I like this? Should I feel guilty about this?
Not today. Maybe Papu not eating a big breakfast.
Wait, did he just shout a fully conscious chicken? No, no. I take that back. Papu, fuck off, you sick fuck. Defeating Papu rewards us with the second key to the third hub area. I cleaned up another crystal challenge and ended up popping a trophy in a CTR token run for winning a race with less than 0.3 seconds between me and the person behind me. In Coco Park, I ended up taking home the Hyper Speed trophy for finishing first when I was on the last lap. And then in Blizzard Bluff, another one of my favourite tracks, I had to once again tackle every shortcut. These shortcuts include going underneath this little overhang at the start, jumping over the frozen river, and getting over both fences that are between the last turn. I managed to cheese the shortcut in Dragon Mines as well by going through the little mineshaft tunnel, but I didn't even end up making it, so yeah, I'll take it either way. This shouldn't work. What is it with snow levels in Crash Bandicoot games and why are they always the best the franchise has to offer? If there's ever any open world Crash game, we need a big snowy area because it'll be the best part. I'll cling to my overly optimistic desires for that one though, as this IP is in a pretty rough place at this time of recording. I'm sure you guys already know what's up. Yes, we're looking at you, Activision and Xbox. Please stop.
Fuck you, you piece of shit.
Polar Pass's shortcut is pretty straightforward. You just have to throw yourself off the snowy kicker and land on the other side of the barrier. I decided to obtain the trophy for using no power-ups in Tiny Arena, which is the longest track in the entire game, and one I honestly still can't master to this day. You have to be really good at break hopping for this one. Eventually it was time to go toe to toe with Komodo Joe. Bars. He acts as our third boss. This is most people's least favourite track in CTR, mainly due to that really awkward bridge section that's just designed far too tightly. Personally, I've never really minded it in casual modes, but online it's always been a no-brainer to skip over this one. Still appreciate you for what you are though, Dragon Mines. Beating Komodo Joe, we are once again rewarded with another key that unlocks the final set of tracks in the game. I continued to play through the bonus modes until I was ready to get straight into Cortex Castle. Again, I know I'm a broken record. Online races used to pop the fuck off on this map. It seemed like everyone was able to sustain Blue Flame. So many good races out there online. What was that really sweaty skin again? Was it Megumi? Is that how you said it? Megumi? I think it was Megumi. Well, it was one of like the victory girls anyway. This character was honestly Crash Team Racing's equivalent of a soccer skin in Fortnite. As soon as you saw one of these bitches sat around in the lobby, you knew it was game over for you. Especially if they had that champion cart as well that I'm just remembering. Damn, you were in for it if you were in a match with that. Anyway, where was I? Getting sidetracked now, and that phrase actually just so happens to coincide with this next trophy. I just had to utilise the side of the track. I also popped the I Know the Way trophy for completing all the shortcuts here too. Next it was time to face Pinstripe in Hot Air Skyway for our second to last boss fight. Obviously every track in Nitro-Fueled got a complete makeover, but this track got a complete sex change. The aesthetic and concept being like a casino and gangster paradise has always been such a great creative change to me, and that colour palette, oh my days, the pink and purple sunset colliding with the blimps in the distance is masterful. Cosmetics aside, this is one of the hardest maps in the game due to the lack of safety rails, which takes a lot of practice to stay on track consistently. Obviously I went on to wipe the floor with Pinstripe, and then it was finally time to race Oxide in his space station. I thought I'd be clever here and run the same skin just to throw Big Bro off, but no, I forgot. I forgot how broken this man is on hard mode. I had to be humbled at some point, didn't I? This green fish looking ass was not going to let me win that easily, so I swallowed my pride and decided to just continue to go for 100% and come back to this final race later on, because I just didn't have the patience for it, and it's really difficult on hard mode.
I could have just jumped right there. There was in the studio murdering this beat.
Same standard shit really. I went through the rest of the tracks cleaning up for completion, as we would have to race against Oxide twice without 100%ing the game, so may as well leave it to later as well. I saw Baddie Coco in the microtransactions store, whatever you call it, and I had to cop. I love how they reinvented this idea from a scrapped to Insanity character concept. Thinking about it, I guess Mind Over Mutant actually already went through with this evil Coco idea. But why didn't she have the dark succubus hair and fishnets like a little sexy goth bomb? Why did they take that out?
I will fuck the shit out of that.
Side note again, salute to the developers for acknowledging Mind Over Mutant. You know, with Crunch and Coco's alternative outfits. It was definitely fan service for us hopeless homies back in the day who would go game for game within this franchise. Even though it continued to steer away from what Crash was known for, a lot of us just kept playing these games anyway. Crash 4, you could have learned a thing or two. Why did it have to be edgy and say there was only 3 entries prior? Why did you have to discredit everything in the rest of the franchise like that? I know it's a complete different game, I get it. I don't care. They really missed the opportunity to have the other Crash models in this game as like alternative outfits because of the whole alternative reality idea and thing. This would have been so cool, why? I finished up all Crystal challenges and also the CTR challenges, which rewarded us with the Token Collector trophy. I pretty much just sped around all the additional cup races to earn all gems. And in Crash Cove, once again, I popped the trophy for blocking a missile. We got Booyah Grandma for winning a cup race. Then in Oxide Station, I popped Master Drifter for successfully using all 3 turbo boost charges 5 times in a row. Once I had collected all the coloured gems, I popped the Gem Collector trophy, and this in turn unlocked Turkey Teeth Crash and Turbo Track. I love Turkey Teeth Crash. I've always loved Turkey Teeth Crash. Aww. This track is heavily slept on. Yeah, it's all pretty flat terrain, and that terrible U-shaped turn is slapped in the middle to slow things down, but I still heavily enjoy this map. I got the final relic on this track that popped us the Relic Collector trophy, and this is definitely the easiest platinum relic to acquire in the game. Up to this point I collected everything I needed for 100%, but of course I still needed to rival Oxide in his dreadful final race. This remains as the hardest part of the entire platinum journey for me, because Oxide's power-ups honestly feel broken. The only thing that makes it hard is his power-ups. By an absolute miracle though, I was able to grab a Velo mask and take him out after many retries because I was just getting my arse handed to me. As soon as I surpassed him though, that was it. I was in the clear and we 100%ed the adventure mode.
Your things didn't stand a chance.
Completing the story unlocks the scrapbook, which I bloody love. I love going through the concept art, as always.
I gotta go fast.
Upon completing adventure mode, it was then time for us to go through every track and beat Oxide's time trial scores for the Gasmoxian, how'd you say this? Gasmoxian Slug Trophy, there we go. This is easily the hardest trophy to earn in this game, and back when I first platted CTR Nitro-Fueled on my old account a few years ago, I sunk hours into these races. Luckily, it wasn't the case here. Still kind of annoying that Beanox makes you replay these time trials an additional 2 times over when you've already beaten Entropies and Oxide scores. But it is what it is. I ended up just throwing on a few podcasts and got to work. Once I had beaten both homies on the CTR maps, we finally arrived on the Crash Nitro Kart maps. And boy, hot take, okay, hot take alert, but this roster of tracks beats the original CTR ones for me. I can't lie to you, I'm just going to say it straight. They're far tougher, and I feel like Beanox decided to exchange the non-gravity segments from the original game for the Blue Flame mechanic. Another incredible choice, in my opinion, and it isn't just a lazy slapped on substitute of a mechanic either. I haven't even talked about Blue Flame yet, but I think it's best to just show you. It's brilliant. Like I say, this inclusion alone makes the CNK tracks so bloody fun because you can just zip around tracks at illegal speeds. I'm still rather resentful we never got to see the Nitro Kart story mode come to fruition though. They should have added it in the final season, man. This vid is really just me saying they should have done this or that. Oh, it's not good, is it? They literally had all tracks for both race and battle modes. They had all the characters, all the customizable cosmetics, and they even remastered the music. I'm pretty sure all they would have needed to add would have been like hub worlds and cutscenes. But still, at the same time, this is more than enough, and I can't discredit or complain about it too much anymore. My personal favourite tracks in this roster are literally all of them, bro. Everything here is so sick. The ones I enjoy playing the most are Electron Avenue, Deep Sea Driving, and you know the one, you know what I'm going to, Tiny Temple. Eventually we got all the way to Hyperspace Way and popped the trophies for successfully beating both Entropies and Oxide's time trials. It's also worth mentioning that beating Entropies times unlocked us his character, which unlocks us all the characters from the original roster. How lovely.
Hi. Are you a lost possum? You want a car?
Yeah, I had to go through all the additional battle arena maps so I could get the trophies for coming first in the extra game modes. Once again, really nice to play on the CNK maps here, and it solidifies the resentment within me. Why no CNK adventure mode, Beanox? Why? You could have added it.
Unforgivable.
In the parking lot map, I ended up popping the weapon technician trophy for using all power-ups, and also got the alchemist trophy for finally hitting an enemy with a beaker potion power-up thrown from the front. After enough grinding all the modes, I finally obtained the dominator trophy for winning all matches in battle mode.
Up yours, woke moralist.
All I had left were a few easy miscellaneous trophies that I ended up missing along the way. The first was for drifting without boosting 15 times in a row, which is honestly much trickier than it seems. The second was for hitting 2 racers with a single bowling bomb, and luckily I managed to line this up perfectly, which led us to popping the boom trophy. I feel like this could have taken a lot longer though, because it's definitely one of those trophies that you pop out of complete spontaneity or chance. Lastly, I was on the grasp of the platinum. All I needed to do was win a match in every CNK track, which felt a bit fatiguing during the closing of my journey due to me already playing these tracks prior with, you know, Tropy and Oxide, but of course we got it done and we had the 8th platinum on the channel. That is it, homies. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see Crash 4. I want to do it, but at the same time, I really don't. If this video gets, let's say, 30 likes, I'll do Crash 4 for sure. Anyway, CTR NF Platinum is complete. I love this game. It's one of my most played games ever, and I still love coming back to it every time. With all that said, make sure to like, subscribe, turn the bell on, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves. Bye!